If you're looking for the best way to build a card collection of the Murders at Karlov Manor set for free on Magic Arena, I'm going to show you the process that I use to turn my collection from something like this to something like this. So welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be breaking down my process for building a card collection on Magic Arena when a new set comes out. You might have lots of questions, and if you're in this position, you might be wondering how much do you have to play in order to earn your cards for free without having to spend any money? What kind of events should you enter, like quick draft, premier draft, jump in events? And when should you open your packs and all those other things? I've got all those questions covered. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe. And we're going to get into breaking that down for you right now. So as you saw at the beginning, my collection for the most recent sets is around 94 or 96 here, 96, 95, 96. I'm around 95% complete on all of these sets, and the last time I spent any money on the game was back in Phyrexia All Will Be One, when I got the $15 pre-order bundle. I've only spent maybe like $50 on the game in the last 4 years, but I haven't spent anything in the last 9 months or so because I just don't need to. I can complete this without having to spend any money, so I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. First step is making sure you get your daily gold. You might know this already. It's really simple. You have your 500 gold daily quests. You sometimes get 750 gold daily quests. You want to make sure you get those complete. You don't have to play every single day to do it because you have 3 different quests you can collect, and you can complete them every 3 days or so. Just to make sure you clear them, you don't want to have 3 quests and then not complete them because the next day you'll miss out on one. Whenever you have a 500 gold quest, you can click on that to try to swap it for a new quest. Sometimes it will be upgraded to a 750 gold quest instead of the 500, in which case you've made some more money. So make sure you complete those. That's the best way to get your gold, which you're going to need later to buy packs. You also get daily wins. I've done a couple already on this account. It's 250 gold, your first daily win, and then your second, third, and fourth daily win, you get 100 gold for instead. After that, the rewards drop off pretty quickly. So if you're trying to maximize gold, your first daily win is the most important. Getting up to 4 is going to be really good. Anything after that, you don't have to for the sake of getting as much gold as possible. You're probably going to pretty much maximize your gold for effort by getting 4 wins a day. And then you have your weekly experience points. The experience works towards the mastery pass, unlocking those rewards. You get 250 XP for the first 15 wins in a week. So you want to make sure you're getting those 15 wins in a week, which is only about 2 wins a day. So if you're getting 4 wins a day for the gold, you're going to complete the XP. If you only get 2 wins a day on average, then you're going to complete the XP. You're still going to get the majority of the gold. You just won't get the little bit extra for those extra wins. And speaking of the Mastery Pass, if we have a really quick look at that now, the top track everyone gets for free. So you get packs here. As you get every 1,000 experience points, you get 1 more level, which could be a pack, could be one of these orbs, which is basically a cosmetic, and it goes along. And you get that whole top row for free, and it maxes out here at level 54 on the free track. Now, if you have 3,400 gems to spend, then you can pay for the bottom track of the Mastery Pass, which gives you loads of rewards, and I will break that down in a future video in the next few days. But let's just say it's really worth it. If you have 3,400 gems, it's the best thing you can spend them on, to be honest, if you're going to get those 15 wins a week. And if you do get those 15 wins a week, or if you're even only close to getting 15 wins a week, you could probably miss a week or two. You're going to get to the end of the Mastery Pass over here and complete all of the levels and get all of those rewards. So as long as you're playing kind of regularly, then the Mastery Pass is huge value. If you're not entirely sure how often you're going to be playing over the next few months, then you don't have to spend the 3,400 gems now. You can just see how many levels of the Mastery Pass you complete, and at any point, whenever you want to, you can pay the 3,400 gems and get the rewards up to whatever you've unlocked so far, and then it carries on unlocking as you go from there. You can leave it up to the very last day of the set before the next set comes out. If you're really not sure, I like to unlock things as you go. If you want to wait just to be safe, then that's an option too. One of the best ways to start your collection off for the new set is to do some of the draft games, or sealed if you like sealed. I don't tend to like it, but if you do want to do that, you can. But the problem with that is you have to spend 2,000 gems to enter, and you don't often get gems for free, but you do very often get gold for free. So although you can enter sealed only with gems, with draft events you can pay in gold if you want to. So it's up to you. I don't tend to do quite as well in sealed, and I prefer draft anyway, so that's normally where I start with premier drafts. So when you're doing the premier draft for the set, you can use draft tokens if you have them up here. You can pay in a draft token to enter the event. You can pay in gems and you can pay in gold. Now that's the order I would recommend spending your resources. If you have them, if you have a draft token, use that first. If you have gems to spare after getting the mastery pass, because you want to make sure you get that first, then use those gems. And if you don't, and if you want to draft, you can spend the gold. It's slightly worse in the way that the gold and the gems convert for the value between both of them. You kind of get a discount for paying in gems. So it's slightly more expensive technically paying in gold. But either way, doing Premier Draft is huge value. With Premier Draft in particular, you want to make sure you're getting at least 3 wins for the event, because if you're paying 1,500 gems for the event, if you get no wins, you only get 50 gems back. You get 1, you get 100. 2 wins gets you 250, and 3 wins gets you 1,000. So it's a big jump up from the 250 gems for 2 wins. You now get 1,000 gems for 3 wins. And if you can get to 4 wins for 1,400, or 5 wins for 1,600, or if you get to 6 wins for 1,800, or 7 wins for 2,200, you're doing really well. But if you can get kind of the amount of gems you're paying to enter, then you can keep entering these events over and over again. So if I pay 1,500 gems, I get 4 wins. I've only actually spent 100 gems on the event, and I've got all the cards that I've picked in the draft event and the 3 packs I get from the reward here. So basically, you want to try and do as many of these premier drafts as possible, but ideally trying to get at least 3 wins in them. I don't always get 3 wins in them. My average is between 55 and 60% win rate, so I tend to get 3, 4, or 5 wins, but still, there are times I might get 1 or 0. It happens sometimes. It's kind of the risk of entering these events, but overall, it works out pretty well. It's just sometimes that happens. Before you actually do any drafting, I would recommend doing some research on the set, so you can have a look at the information it gives you here on the different archetypes between the 2 different colours. We have like detectives, clues, suspect, disguise, go wide disguise, pint-sized disguise, artifact sacrifice, grave break, and battalion, and collect evidence. So those are the 10 different 2-colour combinations, and it will tell you a little bit about how each of those work. You want to, at the very least, read that, but you can also look at some draft set reviews or limited set reviews that people have, maybe here on YouTube. I normally recommend Nikolai Bolas's limited set review, and I'll put a link to his video in the description because I think it's great. It just goes over like the top cards to pick and combat tricks you can do and things to look out for that are going to help you increase your win rate from wherever it would be to a little bit more, which is going to just help you nudge towards those few more gems, maybe do an extra few events. So that little edge is probably going to help quite a lot. Another thing you can do, I have a second account, just a second account I practice things on. If you have another account, you can spend some gold maybe to enter a premier draft on that account, and basically do a practice event before you spend your resources on your main account and put them at risk. You don't necessarily need to have a really impressive win rate for this to pay off. Even if you do only get 3 wins in an event, you've spent 1,500 gems, you get 1,000 back. So you've only really spent 500 gems on the event. You get all the cards that you picked and the 2 packs. And in the last Premier Draft that I did, which wasn't that unusual, I picked 9 rares in the draft. So in addition to the rares you'll get in opening the packs, the amount of rares you get for the amount of gems that you spend is actually really, really good. And with the way the packs work now, you do actually have a chance of having more than one rare in each pack when you do the draft. It used to just be one, and now that you have a chance of having more than one, then I think it makes the chance of picking rares about 50% better. So instead of maybe getting 6 rares in a draft, you might get 9 instead. I mean, it might not work out exactly like that, but on average, it's going to be better than before. But if you're the kind of person who isn't really as confident doing draft events, or you think you might not get those 3 wins to get to the 1,000 gems, the other thing you could do is quick draft. Now, the difference between quick draft is that the entry fees are half what they are for the Premier Draft. You still get to pick all the cards from the packs, but the rewards are also not as good. The first couple of wins, it's not that different, but after 3 wins, it doesn't really scale up very much. It just kind of goes up very slowly. And even if you get 7 wins, you only get 950 gems rather than 2,200 for the Premier Draft. This all makes Quick Draft lower risk and lower return for the people that get really high wins, but if you're only getting 1 or 2 wins, it's not really that worse in terms of the rewards you're getting, and it's just cheaper to enter. So if you're just building up your confidence with draft, or you just want to try it out, then start with Quick Draft rather than Premier Draft. The only thing when a new set comes out is that Quick Draft is not available from day one. So the new set is coming out, or has come out, on the 6th of February. That was yesterday, when this has been uploaded. So yes, the new set came out on the 6th of February, but the Quick Draft for Murders at Karlov Manor is not available until the 17th to the 27th of February. So there are a couple of weeks pretty much to wait until it becomes available, which makes the first week or two of a set slightly awkward if you aren't as confident with drafting and you want to get building your set. You have to wait for the quick draft to become available. So there is something else which might be better before the quick draft becomes available if you're not confident with the Premier Draft. So if you want to start building your collection from day one, when the quick draft is not available and you don't want to do the Premier Draft, the best thing you can do is the jump in events. Now, some people have different opinions about these events, but basically, if you're a completely new player, you don't have very much of a standard collection and you want to build it, then definitely start the jump in event. You will build a collection of not just the Karlov Manor set, but also the other standard sets going back to Dominaria. Roughly speaking, what you will find is that each new set has about 10 jump-in packs that you can pick from, and when you enter a jump-in event, you get to pick 2 packs. When you go to the pack selection screen, it's more likely to show you packs that you haven't picked before, so if you pick everything once, you're likely to see new packs each time and not get the same one multiple times. You can track which packs you've picked before by just writing them down. I have a tracker on my Patreon, so you can have a look at that if you want to. I also have a video going through the jump-in events in more detail. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. So basically, if you're completely new, this is good for you because you're going to get lots of other cards that are important for building a collection over all of Standard. And if you have done these jump-in events before, and if you're not new to Magic Arena completely, you just want to build your Karlov Manor set, then you can also enter the jump-in events. If you've picked the other packs before, then it's going to show you the Karlov Manor packs when you enter the jump-in event, which means you're just going to be picking about 24 new cards for 1,000 gold when you enter the event. And it might not be that they're all from Karlov Manor, it might just be one pack. On average, it pretty much works out that you'll get 1 or 2 packs from the jump-in event for every 1,000 gold that you spend. So it shouldn't take you more than 10,000 gold to get all of the new packs for the new set, and some of those packs contain rares that are very useful that you would probably want to spend wildcards on at some point or another. And to be honest, every new rare added to your collection, even if it isn't a rare that you're actively going to use, helps fill out the collection, and when you open packs later on, it's going to make you more likely to get the other rares that you do want. So everyone helps. And you can complete the jump-in events and get the uncommon card reward that has a 5% chance of being upgraded to a rare or mythic card instead. And then once you've finished that event, you can resign, pay another 1,000 gold, and do another one. You don't have to get the extra cards. Like, it's only most likely an extra uncommon. But if you are trying to build up your collection in general, it helps just getting an extra thing. But if you want to just resign and get through it quicker, then just ignore the uncommon card. It's not a huge deal either way. Normally, a week after the set comes out, which at the moment is scheduled for the 13th to the 15th of February, there will be a Midweek Magic event that will be constructed for the new set. So it will be a Karlov Manor constructed event, which means you're going to have to build yourself a deck using only Karlov Manor cards and then compete to win the 2 rare ICRs and a mystery cosmetic if you get a third win. Now, the problem is you don't necessarily want to open all your packs very early on because the way duplicate protection works, it's better to open them later. So, the best thing you can do when this Midweek Magic event comes up is to either use cards that you've got from the jump-in event, if you've done that, or cards that you've picked from the Premier Draft, if you've done that, because the Quick Draft comes out after this Midweek Magic event, so you can't use cards from Quick Draft yet. It's awkward the way it comes out. Or you could potentially open a few packs just to see what cards you get and try and build something out of that without opening all of them. Or the other option, which normally works out pretty well and actually could work out really well with this set, is to use a few of your common and uncommon wildcards to build a budget deck to enter the Midweek Magic event with. Now, it doesn't make a huge difference if you happen to miss the event. It's just 2 rare cards, and it's rare cards from the last 2 years of Standard, so it's not necessarily new cards, but they're free cards, so like I would enter it if you can. It's just not a huge deal if you miss out. Yeah, so you can use common and uncommon wild cards to craft a budget deck, and you probably have quite a lot of common and uncommon wild cards compared to the number of rare and mythic wild cards you have. So crafting a budget deck is just an easy way to get these extra 2 rare cards without having to spend your wild cards or open too many packs too early. So the next thing you might be wondering is, when do you actually get to open your packs? Now, you can open them as early as you want. It's not a huge deal, but you do get better duplicate protection, which means you're not going to be wasting rare cards if you wait longer. Normally, what I would do with drafts is I would aim to do at least 5, ideally about 10 Premier Draft events, and do the jump-in events as well. I would recommend those. And then once you've got to that point and you've collected whatever cards you can from those, then I would look at buying packs. Now, you can basically stop drafting when you get bored of the set, if you don't enjoy the draft so much. Although it might be optimal to do more draft events, you also have to kind of balance out what you enjoy doing. This game shouldn't feel like a job or a chore, it shouldn't feel like a drag. So if you don't enjoy drafting, don't do it just because it's slightly better. Just go to whatever you prefer to do. But after you've done some drafts, if you are doing it, you're going to want to buy packs at some point. I normally save up at least 45,000 gold, and I come to the to buy packs in the store, and I get at least the 45 packs here for the 45,000 gold. The reason why I get those is because, as well as the 45 packs, you also get an extra rare card as well. Now, it does say here in the blue that it's a card style. I think the reason why it says that is because you get the card and you get this particular style of it. I did check it with the last set, and I did get the actual card when I spent my 45,000 gold here. So unless something has changed, you should actually get the card as well. Now, if you just want to buy packs in sets of 10, that's fine. You're not missing out on a huge amount. But one extra card for no effort, sure, why not? So yeah, I would buy 45,000 gold worth of packs, and I would probably, with my Premier Draft packs and my Mastery Pass packs as they get unlocked, have about 100 packs to open. And normally when I get to that point, I just start opening them all. And then comes the fun part, when you just get to open all your packs, and it's kind of like Christmas, and you get all the rares and mythics you've been looking for, and then you can actually start to build decks in Standard. You see decks that other YouTubers have put up, the new combos that come out with new cards, and all that fun stuff. I would do it kind of as soon as possible, but after drafting. Because if you do it before drafting, you're going to run the risk of reducing the value of the draft because you're picking rares that you already have 4 copies of. And there's other reasons, and it's kind of complicated, but just trust me, the optimal time to open packs is as late as possible, but the most fun time to open packs is as early as possible. So you have to find that kind of middle ground after you've got some cards from drafts, jump ins, and things like that. Then you want to open the packs kind of as soon as possible. You'll get a whole load of new wild cards because every time you open packs, you get 1/6 of a wild card, and you get wild cards in packs as well. So you'll get wild cards, you get all the new cards, you can start building some fun new things with your Karlov Manor cards. So that covers basically everything you need to know about building a collection with the new set. Do the Premier Draft. If you're good at draft, we'll do the jump-ins and then wait for the quick draft if you're maybe not as confident with that. And if you don't like drafting at all, just ignore it. Do the jump-ins, buy the packs when you want to, and open them whenever you like. Later is kind of better, but don't wait just for the sake of being slightly more optimal. That's kind of boring. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Are there any other tips I've missed out that you want to add to what I've said? And don't forget, you can check out my Patreon at patreon.com/gamescooldadmtg for some other tips and bonus content and all kinds of things in our Discord. We've got ways to track your jump-in packs that you've picked already. So it's going to help you make sure you don't pick the same pack more than once. And other things about checking your draft success and seeing how much more worth it is, picking those draft events rather than just buying packs. It's always interesting to find out for yourself exactly how much more value you're getting from those events rather than just buying packs. And also, when you get to the point of having your wild cards and looking at what decks you can make, I've also updated my list of cards worth crafting in Standard, which includes all the new cards from Karlov Manor that I think will be worth crafting, spending those wild cards on cards that you're going to use in multiple decks that you're going to have value in over a long time. So let me know if you have any other questions. Thanks for watching this video to the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.